Dude, we got some peeps, dude. This is good. This is good. We have like 3 or 4, 5 non-peeps. Are we started? Are we live?
We are live.
All right. Hey, Sam wants mod. Make me mod too.
Okay, I got y'all.
In
Yep.
Twitch.
Nice Bobbit integration.
Is Bobbit not here? What's going on?
Bobbit's
Oh
apparently
shoot!
here.
I forgot to do the Google API key. Damn. All right, my bad.
Let's use that one. Okay. I think this is working just fine. Oh, it was such a pain to try to get it setting up on Mac OS, but I eventually didn't get it.
There we go.
Ugh.
That's close enough. That's close enough. I think it's because it's doing like formatting.
Yeah, and that's probably a
Twitch.
color code right there.
Titch, what are you doing? Are we live? We should probably start, dude.
Yeah, we are live right now. We're just messing around.
All right.
Okay, so this is the first inaugural, inaugural podcast for the lug stuff.
Do we have a name?
I just called it Lug Says Podcast, but that's working title.
I think it should be Here We Podcast or something, man. We gotta fit with the theme this year.
Definitely open to suggestions on that
very
front.
much. Here.
Yeah, hit us chat. Hit us with the suggestions for this podcast title. We're gonna use the community to help us out.
Features of
Yes.
Twitch.
All right, we should introduce ourselves, man.
All right, so I'll start. I don't know if you guys know me, but Mike Eisman, more commonly known as Android KitKat. I'm the current president of NDLUG, and I'm a senior here. Why does Mike look nothing like his great question. But yeah, so I was a little bit about my backstory, I guess. I don't know. When I joined Lug as a freshman, I was super red-pilled on Windows, and then I got into Linux, and now I'm a Mac shill. So yeah.
President of Lug, Mac Shell. Okay.
Well, I've been toying around with BSD a lot lately, and I really like that.
But that's not Linux.
Yeah, but it's better than Linux.
It's like a Linux.
It's a better version of Linux.
And we could talk about BSD a little bit later, because I know you've been cooking up some stuff there.
Whatever we want.
All right, Zeph, introduce yourself, please.
I am Stefan Ciso. I'm a senior, and I am one of the system admins in Lug, and I mostly deal with hardware, or I would if I was allowed in Fitzpatrick. I'm a computer engineer, electrical engineer, double major, so that's me.
You
we are led by...
You need a backstory.
Yeah,
what's your backstory?
Like my Lug backstory?
No,
or my Linux backstory?
Your lore.
Okay. So I first installed Linux on a really terrible laptop that ran like a single core Celeron processor, because I heard you got better FPS in Minecraft in Linux than you do in Windows. So back in, I don't know what that was, like 2010, I installed Ubuntu just for Java. And since then, I mostly use Arch with Plasma and i3 these days. I don't know if eventually we're going to talk about like our setups or anything later. And yeah, I daily drive Linux. Probably one of the few members of the Lug officer group that actually daily drives Linux.
Are you calling people out like Sam?
I'm calling out the Mac
You
Schultz.
don't
Yeah,
need to use Linux to be cool.
I strongly agree. Just saying.
All
And
right,
so
I guess
Lug is
it's
led
my
by
turn.
our fearless leader. Yes, our fearless leader.
No, I'm a very fearful person, so not fearless. Um, I guess I'm Dr. Professor Peter Bowie. um, I guess this is what my 6th year here at Notre Dame. I was actually the president of Lug when I was undergrad. Then Lug died, sort of like it'll die next year. But when I came back to Notre Dame, I was like, you know what? We need a space for nerds to be nerds so that they can geek out about open source and computer stuff, stuff like I like, because I'm a nerd, and so I admit it, mea culpa. And so I just wanted a place where I can just talk shop with people. And I was very fortunate that we had Charles and Brianna and Ryan. My first year, they sort of came together and they formed Lug, and it's carried on with excellent leadership under. We had Jess, Shafi. Maybe she's in the chat. Maybe she's in the chat. We also had Logan last year. I'm probably missing a bunch of.
I didn't know.
I don't know. Jess Coffee. It doesn't
I
really
didn't know how
matter.
to say her last name. I was just Jesse.
But now we're at our last president, which is
Last president.
Android Kit Kat. So,
I don't know if I'm the last president.
and then the Rona hit us,
Yeah.
and now we're like,
Rona's
we can't even
dirty.
we can't even do our traditional like pizza stuff. So, this is our podcast, I guess.
Okay. So
I guess the way this show is gonna work is we have a couple of sections. The next section is basically what we catch up. So Mike, what have you been up to lately?
So what I've been up to lately, I got a new router. That's sort of exciting. I decided to not heed any advice from anyone and buy a 7-year-old Apple Airport Extreme.
But why did you need an Airport Extreme?
Because it has Apple
So
in the
the way
brand
that
title.
my setup works in my apartment is, at least it used to work, I had the Ethernet coming from the apartment complex into a switch and then into a Mac Mini. That was my Wi-Fi setup. But turns out you can't, if your Ethernet devices like my Apple TV and my desktop, they can't talk to other devices on the Mac Mini Wi-Fi. And so
I thought Apple devices just work, dude.
Well, they can't break the laws of the internet. But so I needed to, because I really wanted to like put my movies and my shows from my Apple TV onto my HomePod, which is wireless only. And so I needed a router. And so I was like looking at routers. They're brand new routers, but I decided to get the Apple version because it's great. It works perfectly. There's an app on the phone. I don't need to know 192. Screw me with that. So I just open an app on my phone. Let's pull it up. Like right there. There's my network setup. It shows.
What's your SSID?
My SSID is just Airport Extreme. I need to come up with a better one.
Come on, dude! You gotta come up with a better name.
I do, but
name it after your waifu. Just name it Bunny Girl, dude. Just name it Bunny Girl.
But yeah, so
Student 06 says it's a nice flex to your neighbors with that name. And I'm inclined to agree there.
But basically, yeah, so I don't have to do any setup. I kid you not, I plugged it in to my, the WAN, and then I plugged my computer into the router. And then the Airport Express, the airport utility on my desktop opened up like that, and it prompted me to set it up. And then when I typed in all my information, it was magic. And all of my device, my HomePod and my phone, they instantly knew the route, the Wi-Fi network. I would like to see Linux do that. Show me the open WRT that can do that.
You know what? All I know is that my router's free, right? It's full of freedom.
Yeah, but your
Not
router,
convenience. Not convenience. It's full of freedom. That's what matters to
Convenience is
me.
what's important to me, right? I'm done with the whole like dealing with. I need to get work done. I don't. My mantra is I want the computer to work for me.
All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. How about you, Zach? What have you been up to, man?
Oh man, I recently revived a very old like mini PC, courtesy of Dr. Professor Joshi. So stuck some storage in there, and that's now.
Wait, is he just discarding stuff?
He discarded it to me like a year ago. It just took me a really long time to get it to my home, as well as find like a power adapter and storage for it.
So how'd you rebuild this thing?
Well, the only thing it was missing was pretty much storage. So I bought a hard drive on eBay for $12.
You didn't buy an SSD?
Wait,
No,
why'd you buy
I didn't.
SSD?
Because the hard drive was
come on.
$12. And also,
Dude, but still.
no, hang on. The machine has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty good for a machine that old. And since it's just a server and doesn't have, like a display manager or anything like that, I have the entire operating system running on the RAM disk. So it's super fast. Screw SSDs when you can have RAM be your OS.
Is it DDR3 or DDR4?
It is definitely DDR2
Two.
or 3. I think it's 2.
Yikes.
But
Dude,
hey, that's still pretty
what is
fast.
Darth giving to you, man? Wait, what are you using it for? What are you using it for?
Okay, so that's sitting back home in Phoenix, and it is a file server, is what I mostly use it for. So
For your Plex?
I used to be, yeah, exactly. No, I actually don't have that set up. But so I used to be a huge OneDrive shill because it was so magical, and I have so much storage thanks to Office. But now I have all my files on there.
Non-freedom respecting services.
But now it's freedom. It's running Arch Linux. I have a big fat couple of hard drives, like external, plugged into it via USB 3. I'm surprised it had one of those on it.
It has USB 3 and.
It has USB 3.
But DDR2.
So I think so.
Huh.
Yes.
3.0? Do you know?
3.0, not 3.1.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's what I did. I've now got a nice file server. I can access it anywhere because it's port forwarded. Yeah.
What's the?
We should talk about that. We should talk about that one day, dude.
home servers.
Home server.
I was asked to red pill on USB 3 versus USB 2. So all the USB server or standards have just been increasing in bandwidth. I don't remember USB 2. I think 180.
Dude, Night Spear just roasted us.
USB.
Wait, what?
We have 20 viewers, and that's more than we get at a normal lug meeting.
Well,
got roasted, dude.
I mean, to be fair, right? USB 2.0. If you want to feel better about yourself, Zephin, my Airport Extreme has a USB 2.0 port on it, and it came out in 2013.
Dude,
if I remember correctly, that's like I want to say it's like 180 megabits a second.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
That's theoretical max. That's
theoretical max. So that's USB 2. USB 3.0 is 5 gigabit, I think.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
And then USB 3.1 is 10 gigabit. And then if you are familiar with Thunderbolt 3, that's 40 gigabit. And there's also some other differences like power delivery, but that's the main thing.
Yeah, power delivery is important.
So if it uses more than 180 megabits a second, I should plug it in a USB 3 socket. Theoretically, although I don't know a single mouse that would use more than 180 megabits a second.
If you can find me a mouse that does over 180
Or-
megabits a second.
Or if you could type that fast.
Someone said the
breaking
Apple
your-
mouse, dude.
The Apple
Someone
mouse
said
does
the Apple
not
mouse.
require a gigabit connection.
Even though it's magic.
This is the Apple mouse right here. Trackpad.
Dude, that is so gross. That is so gross.
No.
Please show him again.
Trackpad.
Show him that touchpad.
It is a.
How much was that? How much was that
I don't
piece
remember.
of metal?
But these together were $200.
How many- How many digits exactly?
3. I also have this one
Come
too.
on. Is that with your TA money?
Yes. This mouse is actually disgusting to use. I don't recommend this mouse at all.
No one recommends that mouse.
But
All right, let me show the audience here. See, this is my keyboard. This is my mouse. This was $30. Okay,
Yeah, but
$30.
You have a giant slab. All I'm
You
saying.
don't have gestures.
I have
Louis.
gestures, Louis. Native.
I.
Yeah, says the man with the house. I'm not living here in a one-bedroom apartment.
All right, so obviously I don't do it much at all during the week, but lately what I've been working on is I have this slave device. This is a watch. It's a Garmin. I went with the Garmin because I don't have to sync to the cloud if I don't want to, and I'm big into that privacy thing. But anyways, I was in a competition with some people, and I got third place for the number of steps in a month. I believe Andrew. What was your standing after the contest? AKK.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't get last. I know Joshi got last.
Ooh.
Well,
And
that's because he
so
didn't participate, but
I've been averaging about 10K steps a day, and it's really funny because all I do is I go outside, like on my deck, and I walk around in a circle, and I go up and down the stairs. But if anybody wants to like get in on a like competition with me in terms of like steps, you know, Lug is introducing a Get Fit and Healthy program.
We are?
Turn
Yes.
Lug members into Chads. So if you want to chat up and you have a fitness tracker, you know, a Apple Watch,
Chat up
or
with Log,
dude, we could set it up. We could go scoreboard style, you know. I think it'd be great for Lug to just, you know, flex on all the other computer science clubs with their fitness.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's roll into the technology news segment.
Okay. First up, this is a spicy one. The Epic versus Apple. Right? So this
Can you pull up the link thingy?
Yeah,
Can you do the
I
link
can,
thingy?
yeah. Here. Can I make Zoom? Okay. So yeah, this is a interesting topic. We've got Apple versus Epic. What's your take, Boo? I knew you're the most anti-Apple.
Well, Mike, can you provide some like background context
Okay,
on
so
what's
some
going
context. Basically, Apple, since like 2008, since the introduction of the App Store, they have these guidelines for submitting apps to the App Store and, you know, keeping your apps publishable. One of them is that you cannot use you can't implement your own payment system because Apple takes a 30% cut from every transaction you make.
Sounds like the feds, dude.
Well, I mean, Google does the same thing, but basically, Epic Games, because they really, you know, don't like that darn monopoly. They implemented their own version of a payment system, and Apple didn't like that, so Apple has removed Fortnite from the App Store, as you would expect. I won't get into my personal statements quite yet, but basically, I don't know if you guys have seen this video. I'll link it in chat. What is this? That's an interesting Windows 10 share menu. Basically, what they did is it's a giant PR stunt, if you ask me, right? Like they had this cartoon video all queued up and everything. Like, come on, Epic. Like, it's a clone of the 1984 Macintosh commercial. Like, they just.
That's the point. It's called parody, dude. Satire, man. Apple was once like, "Ree! Oh my God, IBM, you're so mean. You control everything. Ree! We're gonna start a revolution. Ree!"
Okay, but that's different though, right?
And now Epic is like, "Dude, bro, you're doing the same thing."
No,
how are they doing man. What happened to being cool? What happened to being cool? What happened to supporting small businesses, dude?
All right.
Come on.
How are these the same things? Apple versus IBM, right? Like let's take a quick look. Let's see. Apple market share. Let's see what this is. World Smart. Let's do. What's the one that Amazon runs?
But dude, okay, here's the thing, right? If you want to publish software to go onto a device, iPad, iPhone, whatever, right? You have to go through the App Store.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basically the only way.
Yeah.
They
So
are
they
the
completely
gatekeeper.
control the content
They
that goes
completely
on
control
their
it,
hardware.
right?
Yeah.
And they don't even like and because of that, right? They have control of that market. If you consider that part, that's that market, they control that, right? And it's not fair because guess what? Guess what they did in China? You know, because I already told you this.
Yes. I know I don't approve what they're doing in China.
In China, they allow WeChat to do exactly what Epic wants to do, which is have mini apps in their application, right?
Yes.
In
and
China,
I think
in China, where they have,
Land of the
special
free.
education camps, right? Where they have censorship, right? Apple says, you know what? We cool with this because we make money, all right? But in America, land of the free, okay, they're like, oh no, we can't do that. We have to protect our users. Okay, to me, this is a double standard. It's just wrong.
I think so. My
Stop.
personal opinion is that I think if they're going to have this whole hard, we draw the line here because they've removed Epic's developer tools at this point. I think they need to do the same to China. Right? Like,
if they do that, then I would say, you know what, Apple's doing the right thing, as long as they're consistent.
yeah,
But
that's
because they're not consistent, I think this is wrong, right? If you allow this in China, you gotta allow it in America, dude.
Yeah, because their TOS
and I'm not
will
even-
not be upheld like the same across the countries, which is ridiculous.
I'm not even talking about the antitrust part. I'm just saying, if your Apple say, look, we want to be consistent with our rules, then they have to be consistent in every country, including China.
yeah. No, I definitely agree with that point. Like, China gets away with too much shit, and they make everyone bend to their will. I don't personally agree with that too much.
Well, speaking about China, let's go on to this next topic. Let's talk about Microsoft and what's this thing called?
TikTok.
Tic-Tac? I don't know what that is. What
It's
is
one of
that?
those-
Yeah.
Can you explain to me?
It's like Tinder, but for dogs.
What?
Ooh,
What?
that's a kind of interesting description.
It's like, that app Vine? Or
No, dude.
Okay. Do you know the app Musically?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, basically it's a social media platform. I'm sure everyone in chat knows what what TikTok is. But basically the big stink around TikTok is they are pretty much like this ByteDance company, their parent company is like pretty deep in bed with the Chinese Communist Party, which in my opinion is a little concerning. And so yeah, the president was like, nope, that ain't happening here.
Well, Zeph, what's your take on this? One, does it make sense to ban TikTok, whatever that is? And two,
Ban
should Microsoft or whoever buy
Oh man,
whatever it is? I don't know what it is.
I think the weirdest part is the decision of who is buying it. So Microsoft is not exactly known as having a portfolio that contains this kind of software. So it seems to me to be really arbitrary.
Well, I heard Oracle might also buy it too,
Oracle is apparently also looking to buy this.
which makes no sense. No
it's-
sense.
I think
I
it's a
mean,
good
I
thing.
actually hope Oracle buys it because then I know TikTok will die.
Yeah.
So, like that's probably in the end the best thing.
I
What?
agree. But I guess the idea is, I guess Microsoft.
It needs to be American controlled. Like
Yeah.
that's the idea. It wants
I
controlled by an
see,
American company.
Like
Yeah.
I think this is kind of messed up because like I know why we are doing it, and I understand like like Google versus Google and Facebook, right?
They need
They can't be
something.
in China. They can't be in China because the Chinese are like, oh no, brah, we got Baidu and whatever, right? Like we got our own stuff. We want to build up our own local companies. So they protect China from the U.S., right? Well, like the U.S.'s message has always been like free market, herp derp capitalism, and like we're gonna export our freedoms to other countries, and by doing this, we're basically doing what the Chinese are doing, and I'm not sure that's the road we want to go down. I don't know. Like it feels very wrong for the U.S. president to be like, "Yo, you can't operate in the U.S. anymore. You have to sell your stuff, and by the way, give us a cut." Like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it doesn't seem to be an
That's like straight
overstepping
mafia.
that is
of,
That's
of
straight
bounds
mafia,
there.
dude.
that's a very, I guess, like very like I don't want to say Chinese, but that just seems like a tactic that they do a lot. Like with Google, right? They've made like China, yeah, they've made Google set up their own servers, right, in China, like so that way they can like do business, I guess.
But honestly, I don't actually care because I don't use TikTok. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I just think the best part is seeing like all like the teenagers like cry, be like, "Wee, the president's so mean. Take away my TikTok." It's all right, guys.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Well, do you think that like, say Microsoft were to acquire, do you think that they would subsume it into their own product stack or just like leave it as TikTok?
they
I
should
mean,
probably
I feel
leave it
like-
as TikTok.
I
I feel like
think
they would leave
TikTok
it.
would survive longer under Microsoft, but look what happened to Skype, right?
What do you
Hmm.
mean?
It took like a decade, but Skype basically died under
I
Microsoft.
still got Skype.
That's
Alright,
because
alright,
they
Boomer.
force you to have it installed on your computer.
Yeah, they do.
J Smash, exactly, J Smash. We should have American companies have your data, just like IBM has all your health data. All right.
Yes.
We need to feed the.
Yes.
We need to feed the Watson.
Bruh.
Yeah. So, Bowie, how's that? How I know you're big into privacy. How's that going now that you have to report your health every day to IBM?
I can't comment about what Notre Dame does. I don't want to get fired. So let's talk about topic
Good
number
point.
3.
Topic number 3.
Let's talk about number 3. Mozilla. Yeah, talk about that, dude.
Laying off what is it, a quarter of their employees? Or was it
Yeah, about a quarter.
about
Yeah.
a quarter of their employees? For apparently the whole goal is to make more money. Which is
So,
Well,
it's a noble cause from a non-profit.
they're weird because they have like a non-profit and then they have like
Yeah, they
a
have the
for-profit
Mozilla like
corporation.
Foundation, and then
Yeah.
the Mozilla the Mozilla Foundation is the non-profit, and then there's the Mozilla.
Wait. Let's ask chat. Chat, who here actually uses Firefox?
I don't use Firefox. And
Hit
then-
us with
I
the
use
Firefox.
Firefox.
do I
Who
have it
uses
installed?
Firefox?
I have it installed.
Dingless. A bunch
I
of
think
notes.
Gavin's like we got
we got
the
we got
waffle.
2,
We got Waffles. We got Waffles has it.
3.
Nolan uses it. All right, we got 3 people. Waterfox. Oh, come on, dude.
Why would you use WaterFox?
Firefox is for people too scared to use Tor.
I guess like
If you use Tor, I guess you do also use Firefox.
So Gavin, how do you feel about this news, dude? How do you feel about this news, man?
bro, you want to know how people who are big into Firefox are taking it? Have you ever been to
How
the
they taking
Firefox subreddit?
Dude, I don't go that place. I don't go to Reddit anymore. I'm boycotting Reddit.
Bro, the Firefox subreddit is like a cesspool with people reading about switching to Chrome.
I mean,
I think
okay,
the
so
strength-
here's the thing. Like, the reality is, like, I love Firefox. I love Mozilla. Like, I was one of the first backers, like, in like 2004, when it used to be called the Phoenix web browser. I actually donated money, my hard-earned TA undergrad money, and I sent it to Mozilla, and I got my name put in the New York Times as one of their first sponsors, right? So I've been like a lifelong. It was like version 1.0. I was like a lifelong user of Mozilla, all right? But the reality is that their web browser sucks. Like honestly, like for so long, it was just bad. It was slow and terrible. And when they moved to the new, electrolysis quantum engine, whatever, right? They basically killed all the plugins that I actually cared about. Sorry, all the extensions, like my Vim mode for my Firefox. So like I basically left and I never came back because honestly, why? Like I understand like people are like, Google, like, oh no, but like Chromium is open source, right? Like this is not IE versus Firefox. With IE versus Firefox, you had no choice. You couldn't fix IE. You couldn't extend it, right? With Chromium, guess what? Microsoft can literally take the same engine and make their own stupid browser with more telemetry.
And they've done that.
Yeah.
Right? They
I
can
think
take that same engine and put it and add your own, cryptocurrency and call it Brave. Like it's a very different mindset because yes, it's the same code base, but everyone can contribute. Hey, Caleb. So
I think there's still. I feel like there's still like a compelling reason for Firefox though, because I feel like at least these days in the more mature versions of Firefox Quantum, most of the plugins are back, including your beloved Vim plugins, and like out of the box, Firefox, I mean, has a lot more privacy controls than other browsers like that it ships with. So I feel like there's still like a decent niche for using it. Which is understandably why the Firefox subreddit is reading so
Yeah.
hard.
The main reason.
but thing
that...
is
oh, you were
things they
saying.
can't make money though.
Yeah,
They're not
They
gonna
can't make money. No. And the article that was linked with this was like really strange in the reasons they talk about for the layoff, because they don't seem to. There seems to be no logical connection with them talking about laying off and then like focusing on technology.
But they're
When the majority of the people they laid off were technical
people who
and
were
background.
building, the technical aspects.
Yeah.
I don't really like the reason that I don't use Firefox is because I watch a lot of video in my browser, and I don't know if you've ever decided to like check your activity monitor while you're watching a video in Firefox, but your computer goes burr. like,
I mean, maybe if you have a
doesn't-
MacBook with no cooling.
This is on my desktop, right? I was running Fedora
Yeah.
32 with the latest version of Firefox. When watching a YouTube video, I was using 50% of my CPU.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yes.
That's bad.
It's
That's
video resource use is
so
bad.
bad. And then I load it in Chrome, and it's like, 7. I can't. I'd like to use it. I really would. There are some extensions for Firefox.
I agree. I would love to use Firefox, but guess what?
I have work to get done.
One, I have Qt browser now, which gives me my VI goodness. Two, Chromium's good enough. Like honestly, like it's not. They make dumb decisions every once in a while, but because I am the Chromium maintainer for Void Linux, I feel like I can't abandon it. It's my baby now.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
no flex there, but But
I mean,
Yeah.
I think. So Zeph, you use a VPN, right? Would you pay for the Mozilla VPN?
No,
Because that's what they're
I
trying to
wouldn't.
do to make money now. Like,
well, so
Yeah.
the biggest problem with the Mozilla VPN, I don't know if you know this, but you can't. It's a browser only VPN, if I understand correctly, and there's
Which
no
is essentially not what you want.
there's
in a
no
VPN.
desktop client for it. Like
Yeah.
even though it's using a different service, they haven't built a desktop client to route
Yeah.
all your traffic through it.
And most people use a VPN because they're either they're concerned about their data
Yeah.
being just floating through the internet essentially, and so if you're not encrypting on startup, and there's really no reason to use one.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels bad because it's like Mozilla is actually, if you look at the history of open source, they were like one of the first organizations to show like open source can work. Like I
Yeah.
said, I was one of the early backers. And then, by the way, shout out, if you want to learn a little bit more about the history of open source, next semester I'll be teaching Hackers on Bazaar, where we read books about hacker culture and open source, and we do projects, no tests, super chill.
Sounds like
But don't
exotic.
don't take it with me though. Don't take it with me though. But shout out to that course, all right? No history credit, unfortunately.
One more quick thing I want to talk about. What they're killing with the Firefox thing, they're killing the browser engine team, right?
Yeah.
and the Mozilla,
which makes no sense.
the Mozilla,
Yeah.
like if their whole thing is, I guess I've read a lot on the Firefox subreddit, but if they're focused on trying to improve like their customer, satisfaction, I feel like they need to go back to the whole, we appreciate the people who are nerds like Bowie, right? Who are into the whole like trying to hack on your stuff. Like they're removing all of these, features from the desktop browser and the Android browser.
Yeah.
Like you can't
I think they've just stagnated it essentially by removing the core technical staff means that while Chromium will incrementally get better.
I mean, so here's the thing. Here's the major. I think one of the major things that killed Firefox really is like, one, they stagnated in terms of performance, right? Then two, like there's no reason why Firefox shouldn't been the wrapper for Electron, right? Like it used to be like you can look it up. They had this thing called XUL Runner, where you can wrap websites and stuff like that, and make it basically an app, which Electron does.
Mm-hmm.
Like Firefox should have been like the embedded web engine kit, right? Like they should have allowed people to extend their browser. It's open source. Like they should have been like, hey, take our engine. For that. Exactly. Do whatever you want. Embed it in your application. Embed it into make a new web browser. Wrap your website into this to make a web app. Like they should really push the use web technologies, use our code. But instead, what happens? People went around to Chromium because it was there. It was better. And they allowed it. They pushed it.
Yeah, they allowed like the web, like all of these like APIs for like normal like USB access for a browser, like Etcher, right? Like you can't do that with Firefox, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move on. Speaking of open source and sadness, can you play this video? I think everybody needs to see this video.
This is great.
This podcast is brought to you by the FSF.
That's not.
And they have a message. They have a message they want us to tell every student at Notre Dame.
Don't get us.
Let's not get the club canceled.
Full screen? How do I make this full screen?
Can you right click and force the window to be full?
Open video, new tab.
Alright, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna get some water. But I got my headphones on so I can still hear you guys.
Got a buffer. Why didn't they just host this on YouTube?
Academia U is an ethical, remote learning platform that safeguards computer user freedom.
With AI superpower, Utopia is better. Super better.
And if you commit today, you get a free campus-wide site license for the first year.
Utopia it is. So, for the foreseeable future, all classes will be online. We will be providing every student with Utopia, a distance learning platform that makes learning fun.
Professor, Utopia is a proprietary platform. Aren't you concerned about exposing student records, personal information, or surveillance vulnerabilities?
Well, Utopia comes from a major company. I'm sure it's perfectly safe. Today's lecture will be about compensating for the weakness that every hero inevitably has.
Thanks to Overlord, the evilest of evil, we're in! If it hadn't been for your hostile takeover of Utopia, we never could have executed our dastardly plan. Now we...
Oh, come on. Don't buffer on me.
can monitor and control all the University of Cost...
Alright, I'm gonna download this.
Toons heroes.
Commando Man. All superheroes have one weakness.
This is...
What's yours?
I think they get the point of the video.
Yeah.
I think they get the point.
The point
So,
And we can link it in chat.
yeah, we'll link it.
yeah, we can link in chat. Let's link in chat.
Like, basically, their whole idea is that Zoom, right? This piece of software we're using is proprietary.
And it's also not had a great history in terms of security.
However, one thing that I did notice, because I was screwing around during a class of mine, and you know how they used to be able to do attention tracking in Zoom? They got rid of that. They've removed.
Really? Like completely?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was worried that my professors could see that I was, using my IRC client.
Listen, you can stop there. Yeah, you had concerns.
I had concerns.
Yes.
But that's one thing I kind of like, that Zoom actually fixed that issue.
So yeah, I'm not sure if everyone in chat is familiar with sort of Zoom's really rocky history with security, but it seems in recent months they've made pretty big pushes to fix not only their code base, which had security problems, but also being more upfront with users. But despite that, there's clearly people and students who still think that Zoom is not very safe. Yeah, so in chat, Zoom used to have a feature where it would report to the host if you were what your active window, if it was Zoom or if it was another window. And the reason Zoom could do that is because it still does this. It doesn't report it, but actually Zoom will log pretty much every single application you have running on your system.
Yeah.
It downloads your process table whenever you're in a meeting. So
yeah, that's not something I'm big into.
DB, don't worry. I didn't look. I don't do that stuff, dude. I respect your privacy.
I guess just like my I get what the Free Software Foundation is trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously they're trying to say that yes, like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom, they are proprietary software.
Yep.
But I guess like the reason.
So.
Oh no, you were saying.
So like here's the thing, dude. Like, I completely understand where FSF is coming from. The problem is like they're so like Pollyannish and so like idealistic. It's like, bro, like even if I don't like Zoom, which by the way I kind of do, but even if I didn't like it, guess what? Guess what? The whole university uses it. Like, I don't want my students to have to figure out like 5 different apps just to go to class. It's like that's a pain in the ass. Like students already get frustrated when it's like, is it on Pizza? Is it on Slack? Is it on Campus Wire? Is it in the group me? Like I don't know. Like I don't know where anything is. It's like it's like things are confusing enough. It's like if we all standardize on one thing, that's the greater good than software freedom.
Yeah. And the other thing is
ideally it's a free platform, but given everything going on, like you have to be pragmatic, right? I'm more of a pragmatist these days than like a idealist. It just to me it's so out of touch to be like at universities or professors or whatever. Be like, why are you like imposing your student like these morals on your students? It's like, dude, okay, you're trying to make their life easier.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Trying to get the job.
And another really big thing is like it's already hard enough to do remote teaching. But if you have like downtimes or stuff like that, we pay like Notre Dame pays Zoom a lot of money, and so if there are problems, like the idea is we could contact Zoom and complain bitterly about their terrible service.
Right?
Yeah, and so yes, it's not free, but that's because we're paying for the ability to do that too.
And then I think one nice thing about Zoom though is like they actually have a Linux client. Like
yeah, I'm using Zoom on Linux right now.
You could, me too. Like you can go to the website and you can download. Like most other software doesn't have that, and so like at least they picked a platform where like it supports the freedom-loving platform I choose to use.
Doesn't have a
my
BSD
lifestyle choice.
Version, no.
You can use the Linux emulation, dude.
Well, I prefer native software.
Use a Mac anyways.
Yeah, but it's different.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on, or do you have any more thoughts about this?
I think you mostly covered it. Like, yeah, people are just, they want to get their work done, and they want to do it without, you know.
Without the hassle of setting up free software.
All right, so these are topics that we picked up over the last couple of weeks. But if you have any things you want to share, things you want to discuss, hit us up in our IRC channel, which is
Nice.
our next topic.
Our next topic.
All right.
IRC. I don't know if you can go here. Can you go to the front end for the lounge? And so if you do this, okay, so you need a username and password. I don't what's the workflow for creating an account?
Regserve, dude.
Regserve .ndlug.org.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this? So let's make an email address. Let's choose pbowie@nd.
Dude, are you serious? All right, go ahead.
.edu.
I like how you don't use the lug account. This works too.
All right, so then I just have to wait for Bowie to give me.
Come on, man.
Just send me the link.
All right, I'll send you the link, dude.
Send me the link in IRC.
Can I just paste it into the Twitch chat? Hold on, I got this.
Wait, Mike. What is IRC?
So IRC is basically like Slack, but worse.
But from forever ago.
From
the dawn of the internet.
No, it's vintage Slack, okay?
Vintage Slack, yeah. It's what you
aged
sit
well.
from, crystal glasses.
Yeah. So this application that he's running, I wrote this, so you can blame me if it doesn't work. But basically, we don't want to know your details, so we have an account system where you simply sign in or you register with your email address. And we don't track this. I don't look at it. But it basically lets you create an account, and this will give you access to the lounge and the IRC server.
Yeah. So once you've made an account, you go to chat.ndlug.org, and then you just sign in with your username and password. I guess I'm logged on here. Let's go connect. What's it saying? Oh, it's saying something. And it's pretty simple to do.
Yeah, so we got
nice
rooms.
Little front end, so you don't have to. A lot of the issues people have with IRC is a lot of times your IRC clients, like to configure it, will look. Let's pick a channel. It's safe. Like if
It's
you
from the dawn of the internet. The clients aren't exactly pretty.
Yeah, the clients aren't pretty. Like if I want to configure like a server, it looks like crap, right? I've got all these boxes. What the hell does any of this mean, right? Like, so basically what the lounge does is it takes all of that garbage and then basically it's like you just do the thing, right? Good words of Tim Weniger, just do the thing. Yeah, and now I can securely chat.
And so the nice thing about this is something that the club controls.
Yep.
Right? This is our own resource, so we can do whatever we want. And then AKK actually has been working on this really cool project built on top of this IRC server. Do you want to show them this?
So, I don't know. You've probably seen in the Slack channel, and recent events, right? Trying to view counts and stuff. A lot of the times the dashboard for here ND didn't work. So what I did is I made a copy called So I bought the domain name nd.lol because why not? And so it was a meme, but then
dude, we're at 222.
We're at 222 positive cases. And so I like before you would get like if the COVID website was down, you would literally just see like a white screen that says just wait, LOL. And so I thought that was not okay, and I really wanted to see the stats. And it was a pretty simple thing to do. All I had to do was rip this COVID dashboard thing. I can show you the code, actually. It's on GitHub if you want to contribute, because right now...
Oh, nice. Our PRs welcome from the community?
PRs are encouraged by the community. Look at this CSS.
Because we need some CSS help here, dude.
Like,
yeah.
I've got Times New Roman. I've got a button. Heck, before, the button that refreshed the dashboard used to be right here. And, like, another thing, like, look at the website. If I make the window too small, the dashboard just disappears. And I don't know why.
What just happened, dude?
So clearly we need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
But the amusing thing is, since this is AKK's creation, when the university dashboard was down, this one was up.
Still up.
Yeah, this one was still up. So
yeah. So you can see the beautiful code right here. These 35 lines of handlebars
and so,
HTML.
So Mike, you integrated IRC into
show the IRC integration.
Okay, so I spun up so originally I really wanted it to be. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those sports streaming websites where they have like the feed for the video and then they have like a chat.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I pay for cable.
Of course.
I pay for cable, dude.
I totally.
What? How dare you?
But the biggest problem was I wanted it to be like PogChamps in the chat for coronavirus, which is an interesting thing.
And now we have that.
Now we have that. So all you have to do
of software
is you go to this nickname box, and you just type like let's see, what's it gonna be? Corona Chan. And then you just click connect, and then PogChats for Corona, and then you have this nice little window so you can look at the chart, which doesn't change, albeit.
That actually looks really nice, by the way.
Yeah, this is all the lounge. This is the same thing as this thing. Like, they're actually running on the same network. So if you're on our NDLUG server, you can just go into your line and type join #Rona. And
and once again, this is all internal. These messages aren't going anywhere outside of.
Well, so I guess the only difference is on my server, which is right here. I've got it running up. It's a nice. Let's see. What's NeoFetch? It's a nice BSD server. I like BSD now.
What is BSD?
Nice. BSD is like Linux, but with jails. I don't know if that's...
I think that was a terrible explanation.
What kind of explanation was that?
All of your
like
similes
Linux,
have been really special.
Right. Okay, Bowie, go to your /user folder and tell me if there's a folder called jails.
No, I don't. Dude, this is not like Eddie Street, all right? It's not like the Foundry, all right? We don't got people in quarantine on my server.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of FreeBSD. So I guess the only difference is the stuff on this website has to go to Bowie's, but yeah, it's very, very fun to use. It made me enjoy using something other than Mac OS. I literally can't use Linux anymore. I don't know
honestly,
why.
I am so proud and happy he has found BSD. Like when I was his age, I also had a BSD phase. I used to run NetBSD. One summer I actually ran FreeBSD, headless. Xless. So I had no graphical interface.
You only ran
terminal.
TTY.
I only ran TTY. All right, so I'm a big BSD fan.
Memory efficient.
And I still feel like I'm a BSD fan inside. It's just now, like, I'm a father, so I have practical needs. Like, like my computer has to plug in with a camera that actually has to work and stuff.
That's why I use Macs, basically.
And so that's why I had to use Linux. And I started by using the most BSD like Linux, which was Arch Linux at the time. But since, a few years ago, Arch Linux has lost its way. So now I'm on the void. I've entered the void. And so now I'm on that, So, well, I'm actually really happy because I think one day, you will find your way home to Linux.
Bet.
One day. One day.
How do I do cow shay? I have no. Hey, there we go. I figured it out. I guess I like the reason that. So the biggest reason why I don't use Linux, and I've explained this to multiple people, for some reason, if you want to set up, say, like, a VNC server on Linux. I fought with this for like 3 hours one day.
Dude, why are you trying to use graphics on Linux, bro? Come on.
Because it was for a work thing, and so I needed to be able to see what's going on in the other computer. So, so the biggest thing is I would Google these guides, and then I would spend like hours flipping through guides and like reinstalling Ubuntu because it just wouldn't work. So I was like, screw it.
I think I found your problem. It's called Ubuntu.
Well, Ubuntu you'd think would be the one that would work, right?
No, yeah, fair enough.
So I was picking the most vanilla Linux, and I
think. So I was listening to a podcast today when I was outside on my deck walking back and forth. True story, by the way. And like in the podcast, they like did an interview with like a Windows user, and the Windows user is just like, why Linux sucks and it doesn't work. And like honestly, like I felt for that person because I totally get where they're coming from. Like Linux is not like a turnkey operating system. Like as much as like Ubuntu or other people like Solus want to say it's a turnkey operating system, it's not. It's made for people that are willing to put in the time and effort to customize it to their needs, right? It is for people that want to have control and to have freedom, and honestly, like, again, I said earlier, I kind of joked about it, but it's true. Like, I value freedom more than I value convenience. Like, if I had to sit down and figure something out for 15 hours, I'd rather do that knowing that I can control it than to use something that works right away, but know that I'm beholden to a corporation of some sort. Like I understand for most people, they don't make that value judgment. They have different priority stack than I do. And there's something wrong with that. I'm just saying personally for me, that's how I view things. And I'm glad that Linux and open source exists for that reason. And like, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I will still bully you and make fun of you, but I also honestly I like understand where you're coming from, and so, like my wife would not use Linux if I didn't put it on her computer. Like she doesn't do any system administration. I do that all for her, but she uses Linux all the time. Like she has no problems with it. Like it. I don't know. Like I totally get people that say like I can't use it. I'm just saying if you're willing to learn and to customize it and you want to control. Like to me, that's the beautiful part. That's the power.
So, I guess that's where I'm a little different, right? I guess the reason that I choose to use not Linux because it's hard, right? Like my personal server is in macOS, and I do everything on macOS because I have an expectation, right? When I Google how to do XYZ on Linux, and then it doesn't work, I'm thinking that, right, obviously it's either something that I'm doing wrong, and so, like, all these guides are trash, and I can't just get it to work. But, like, when I want to implement something, like, on this BSD thing, like, I had to read the manuals. And I'm not saying I couldn't do that on Linux. It's just, to me, right, if the guides exist, why shouldn't I use them? Whereas for other things, they just don't exist, so I have to do it myself, and that's just.
I would say 100%. Like, the Linux documentation story is terrible, and this has been a complaint forever. Like, since I was an undergrad, and the BSD community would like roast the Linux community over their terrible documentation, and it's
Yeah.
still true today.
Like,
But I think that's part of the fact that I talked about you offline. You know, Linux evolves really fast. You know, and that's both a strength and a weakness, right? It's a strength in that they get faster hardware support, they get newer technology, they get better performance, newer features. But because they move so fast, you know,
they got the
documentation
wide
doesn't.
Yeah.
Because they move so fast, the documentation doesn't keep up. For instance, you know, like IF config is deprecated.
It is.
It's been deprecated for like 2 decades, apparently.
But because there's just so much stuff that like still relies.
But yeah, but because all the documentation on the internet, it's like use IF config.
Yeah.
And when a user like say uses Arch Linux and they type in IF config, it's like WTF? Why does this exist? Because it's deprecated. It's been deprecated for 2 decades. You know, it's just stuff like that. And I 100% concede the point. The documentation for Linux is absolute garbage. But like to me, that's on the community. Right? If you're a Linux advocate, you need to work on the community. So another flex story that I can throw in. I was actually one of the initial contributors to the Arch Wiki.
I was just about to bring it up.
So Arch Wiki is a resource that many people use. I still use today. And I actually contributed one of the first articles on, say, cups, which is how to set up the printer, right? And so, so you know, if you're out there and you're thinking about, I want to contribute to open source, right? Open source desperately needs good documentation. You guys go to liberal arts school. You guys know how to read and write, kind of, right? Use those skills and make documentation for Linux better because it is awful right now. It is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like
the Arch Wiki is also very slow today.
I think that's just your connection, dude. And your.
It's your AirPort
bandwidth
Extreme.
usage.
My
Yeah.
AirPort Extreme.
Look at that, 20. Well, I'm also video streaming upwards and
Yeah.
downwards right now.
Also, the Arch Wiki has a bang in DuckDuckGo. I think it's just bang AW.
Yeah, I think.
And
it
same
is.
with R is bang AUR. Yeah,
Not that you should use the AUR. You shouldn't trust it.
of course.
See, okay, we have to talk about the AUR one day because I think it's complete bullshit. So I don't know if we want to bring this up. I don't know if you want to bring
No,
this up.
I think we should. I think we should table it. Yeah, let's table it because that's a
Alright.
whole discussion.
I think the hype around it is bullshit.
I agree.
I think it's
100%.
bullshit. It's useful, but we can talk about that later.
I bought into.
Oh, can I use that word? Can I use it? Is this a Christian
This
podcast?
is not a Christian. Not a Christian.
Okay,
podcast.
I want to make sure.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that. But I have some choice things to say about the AUR as well.
All right.
DB29 asks what it is.
What
It's
is
the Arch
It's the Arch.
user repository. Basically, it's where people upload software.
You know what?
essentially.
We don't have to
What?
table this. I'll just say my rant right now.
Okay.
It's very short. It's very short.
Okay.
So everyone's like herp derp, AUR is so good because all the packages are in the AUR, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The AUR is just a set of recipes. So when you use the AUR, you're downloading the source code and you're compiling it yourself. This is not binary packages, right? You're literally just running make and compiling it yourself.
But that's the convenient part about it, is the recipes are already
but this
provided.
absolutely sucks. Have you ever tried to compile Chrome or Chromium?
But I don't need to do that because they're binary.
No, but if you wanted Chromium with video acceleration, you had to use the AUR for many years. Okay, it was only until like 3 months ago that they switched. I know because I tracked it. Okay, I'm saying for all the people that wanted to use Chromium for like 5 years.
Yeah,
you
they'd have to build it from source, and it takes a long ass time.
With my 3900 Ryzen whatever, right? The CPU goes burr for about 1 hour. 1 hour with 24 cores to build a freaking web browser. Okay? That's insane. Imagine if you are a home user saying, I want to use Chromium with video acceleration. And you sit there, and you type in, Yowert, blah, 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 Chromium VAAPI, right? Dude, you're going to sit there for like an hour or more as this thing compiles.
Yeah.
AUR is
So
so
are you just
overhyped.
saying that AUR would be good if it provided binaries? Is that essentially what you're saying?
If there was binaries, if there was quality assurance. So
Okay.
Luke Smith, who y'all love, right, recently posted a video. He's like, "Oh, Herb Dirt, look at my Arch breaking," and the reason why it quote unquote broke was because he was using a package from the AUR, right? And why does that matter? Because packages in AUR do not get tracked. So if the library gets updated, right, Arch Linux, fortunately today, will update all the packages that depend on that library that need to recompiled. If it's in the AUR, there is no quality assurance. So in this case, someone updated, I think, a SSL library, right, which broke his email and broke all his shit, right? Like that's insane. Like, why would you put yourself in that type of environment?
Because
it's just.
I think the reason is because there are validated packages, right? And those are already contained in Arch's package manager. And the user repository is just that. It's like a place where users can put up whatever tools and whatever recipes they
I think
want.
it's a band-aid. I think the real solution is to make it easier for people to contribute to your repo, right? Get it in the official repo, right? Like, there's no reason why Arch, because Arch has a huge developer base by now, right? Huge user base. Like, they should be able to, they should have a better process of saying, you know what, this package in the AUR has, 10,000 users. It's probably pretty good.
Does Arch
Let's
allow
find a way to
proprietary
make it official.
software in the main repository?
They might do a little cheating.
Okay, I
do
thought
cheating.
that was their stance that they don't, but I haven't used Arch in a while.
Yeah.
But I guess
I'm pretty sure there is proprietary software. It's just I think they just have a flag on it that says, or something. I'm pretty sure. That could be completely wrong though.
All right,
I think if Arch,
is
a band-aid,
wrap this up.
it's a damn good one.
Let's wrap this up.
All right.
All right. Do we review memes now?
Are there even memes for us to review?
Are there memes? Did anyone submit memes?
Let's see.
I don't know if we got memes.
No.
Nope. All right. That makes wrap up easy.
We didn't get any. Disappointed in the community at large.
Yeah. All right, just so y'all know, there will be a meme review after every podcast at the end.
Wait, you know what? Go to the subreddit. Go to the subreddit.
Oh, the Notre Dame subreddit?
Well, let's review the subreddit ones.
Woof. Alright, let's see.
Wait, am I allowed to laugh at this?
I don't know.
All right, I might have to censor myself.
Okay. For some reason, Reddit can't be reached. What?
Dude, what did you do?
Let's try old Reddit.
What browser is this, dude?
This is Microsoft Edge.
Oh, come on, dude.
Bro, I'm not gonna use. Bro, I want to use a Chromium-based browser, and I'm not gonna deal.
Sam with the Reddit made by the same people who made here.
You say, let's pull up the. Can I sort by images? I don't think so. There we go. It's a meme. I don't know. That one, if we look at the comments.
I don't know. I don't think I can comment that one.
Yeah.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, I think it speaks for itself.
I can't say anything.
We probably can't touch on that one either.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I feel like a lot of these are not going to be commentable.
These are
a little spicy. Coronavirus is affecting the Notre Dame community. Just quarantine campus. My beef is green.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to get fired, so let's not do this.
Dude, but the beef is green. How is the dining hall? Scale of 1 to 10.
Chat, give me a thumbs up if you're happy with the dining hall. Give me a thumbs up.
0-10.
Can we get a
not good.
PogChamp? A PogChamp for the dining hall?
Thumbs down.
Can I get a PogChamp for the dining hall? No PogChamps?
Yeah.
Yeah, say these are a little too spicy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, say I am fortunate enough to not have to deal with the state of the dining hall because I get to live off campus. Zephyr, if
All
you
right,
had...
so
Oh, okay.
so let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
So next time we will do a meme review if there's memes next time. Hit us up in the IRC. We will still be on Slack, although it's absolutely proprietary. We will still be there as well if you're not comfortable.
It's fine.
We'll just shame you like I bully AKK. It's fine. It's normal. Chat. Oh, what's up? Come here.
Can we get a PogChamp?
Maddie's going. My daughter's going PogChamp here.
PogChamp?
Wait, that should be our new shirt. I like that. All right, I think I gotta wrap this up. I think they want to watch Pokemon before they go to bed.
Oh, I'll watch some Pokemon too.
All right, so we all need a catchphrase. We all need a catchphrase before we leave.
What?
We all need a catchphrase before we leave.
Same bad channel.
Is it besides
same
the one
bad
being
place.
chanted?
Good. Okay, AKK, you say something.
I said same bad channel, same bad place. But that's
All right, Zeph.
from somewhere else.